You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
That's right. You are now watching and listening to the Mike's Opinion podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing fine. This episode was prompted for a couple of different reasons. For one, I've been absent for 2 weeks, but not on purpose. It's because I am a one-man band and I am not an editor, but I'm trying to edit my last episode where I used 2 cameras. So for all of my followers out there, please be patient. As usual, for those that are regulars and for any newbies out there, I want to know how you're doing. I hope you're doing okay. You know, I always want to know, how are you doing? I hope this episode finds you well. The second reason is everybody in my house is asleep. Everybody's asleep and they have to get up very early in the morning. So I'm usually quite loud when I'm recording episodes. I usually record episodes very, very late. Like right now, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. It was about 90 degrees the last 2 days. Now it's 45. It's global warming real. It hardly snowed in New York, so I think it is. Yes. So, I admittedly am not an ASMR episode, but it does fascinate me greatly. The tinkling in my head, the stimulation it triggers is quite astounding. You can find my first ASMR episode if you just dig a little bit. I think this is like the 180th episode. So find that and enjoy it for all of the ASMR people out there. Pardon me, I had to clear my throat. I have several items here in front of me that we are going to use today to try to trigger that feeling. Have you ever had that feeling from ASMR that triggers a sensation in your body? I hope you have. I really hope you have. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'd like to say, with this first item, cheers to you. Clink, clink. This is what's left of a glass of Pinot Noir. I am told that red wine is healthy, so So I'm just trying to take care of my health. Perhaps you should too. How did it sound? I don't have long nails. If any particular sound triggers a feeling in you, please let me know. I'd really like to know. You can reach me at Mike's Opinion Show at gmail.com. Again, that's Mike's Opinion Show at gmail.com. You can also reach me in any of the socials. Pardon me, any of the socials. You can message me any way you feel is comfortable for you. I welcome any and all engagement, interaction, comments, feedback, or you can just say hi. I'm a happy human and I hope you are too. And if you're not, that's okay too. You can say whatever you want to say. I welcome all of it. While you're there, you can like, share, follow, subscribe, and as I said, comment. Your support of any kind is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to financially support the show, you can do that as well. You don't have to memorize any of this. It's all in the show notes. Whether you're listening on a DSP or if you're watching on YouTube, I have a GoFundMe, I have PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Again, any support is greatly appreciated. So, next, I have a crystal pineapple. Do you see this? It's a crystal pineapple. Pineapple. I don't know why that word's always fascinated me. But can you see it? It's very pretty. It's made by Swarovski. It's a Swarovski crystal pineapple. And I don't know. Let's see what noises it makes. It's a very solid piece. It's pretty weighty, has weight to it. It's so pretty. I am fascinated with glass, crystal, and I one day would like a room filled with glass from Steuben Glass, Swarovski crystal, and other rare finds. I like to find rare and special stuff. Let's see what it sounds like if I try to wipe my fingerprints off with this cloth. It's all shiny, super shiny. It's really pretty. Do you like pineapples? Let me know. It's very interesting how certain foods affect the body, and pineapple has a certain effect on our bodies. How does pineapple affect you? I'd really like to know. Next, I have one of my bracelets here. Can you see this? Can you see this bracelet? See how it sounds? It's a very interesting sound. It has lots of dimensions you can hear all the little links clinking together. Clink, 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 clinking together. It's very interesting. I think it is. Now, next. Oh no. This sneak peek of a sound that's coming up. You weren't supposed to hear that yet. But my next item got stuck to that item. Next, we are going to let's shoot some hoops. How about that? You see that? My little green screen effect is screwing up my hoop thing. This is a little plastic basketball hoop. Can you see that? I thought it would be interesting to see how it sounds on the backboard. It's a very subtle sound on the plastic of that backboard. It really is so subtle. The B is silent in the word subtle. 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 That's kind of strange, right? By the way, you see my shirt? You can go to the show notes and you can get one. there's a link there. It has something on the back too. You can get this Mike's Opinion podcast logo on almost anything, pens, hats, all kind of stuff. Many t-shirts in different colors and many sizes. It would be so awesome to be out somewhere and see somebody with a Mike's Opinion podcast shirt or hat or socks or something. I would just be like, wow. I've made it. People vibe with me. People understand me. Love does exist. I'd be so happy. Get yourself some merch. It's quality merch. I wouldn't sell whack merch. Next, we have a varying degree of types of paper. Anything that I mention or any papers, if you see a brand name, it's by happenstance because I am sponsored in any way by anyone. So support the show, please. Are you ready? This is just an advertisement paper for a furniture store. I am almost certainly, actually, there's no almost about it. I'm gonna have to wash my hands because I can feel the ink getting onto my hands. I don't know if it's obvious. It doesn't really look like it, but I can feel it on my hands. Ugh. So next, something that is part of the business, one of the businesses I'm in, and also something I collect. Can you see this? This, you can't see it because of the effect, but this is a Kobe Bryant PSA 10 graded card, and it's in a very hard plastic enclosure. It's encased. Let's see what it sounds like when we take the bracelet from earlier and we put it on the plastic case. Very hard plastic case. dominated the sound of the plastic. Perhaps. Let's see what other sounds the case makes when I just touch it. That's just my fingertips. Let's try my fingernails. Oh, that's good. That was stimulating. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you remember our little cloth from earlier, that's the cloth with 10 fingers. Let's try it with one finger. Can you hear the slidiness of my finger and the cloth? It's not a cloth, actually, it's a paper towel. So, there's that. What did you think about that? Was it stimulating? So, remember my basketball hoop with the plastic backboard? And I told you it got stuck to something, and I was kind of saving it. It was nice and smooth. Now it's a little wrinkled. Do you want to know what it is? Okay, I'm going to show you. Are you ready? Okay. It was a piece of aluminum foil. It was so smooth. Do several things with it. The first thing I was going to do was this. Ever thought about aluminum foil? Aluminum foil is actually pretty cool. It's really cool. It's a malleable piece of metal, right? That's pretty amazing when you really think about it. This is actual aluminum in a very thin sheet. And you can do a variety of things with it. And one of the things you can do with it is this. Some, some scissors here. Let's see how they sound. I step up and down. What about the handle? Sounds different than the blade, right? I think so. Let's crumple it up into a tin foil ball. Are you ready? Do you see that? It's soundless. When it's a ball, it barely makes any sound. Can you hear that? Spin condensed into a little ball. What happens if I try to unfold it? Do you think I can do it without tearing it? Let's find out. I have to find where it begins. I can't even really find it. This might not even be possible. I don't know. I'm trying to unfold. It's coming. It's coming. Do you see it? It's unfolding. It's getting better. It's back to its original form. What? Doing too fast. Fell off. Oh, wow, we got a full ball. Back to that, but do you remember how big it was? Imagine if there was a contest that there was a fresh, just freshly ripped, flat piece of aluminum foil. And it didn't have any wrinkles. It was fresh off the roll. And then somebody crinkled it up into the tiniest ball they could. They said they would give you $1,000,000 if you could unfold it from a ball and get it back to its original shape with no folds or cripples. I think that would be a bit maddening. Anyway, I was saving it. I like aluminum foil. It's amazing. So, remember those scissors? We have orange scissors. And by the way, if you're ever handing someone scissors, you should hold the blade and hand them the handle. Just in case you didn't know that. Take the blade, hand them the handle. You never want to go, here's your scissors. Here you go. Here. You don't want to do that, do you? No. So, let's see what it sounds like when we cut the foil. Are you ready? Are you ready? What a mess I've made. I'm going to have to clean up all of these little pieces of tin foil. But that's okay. I'm doing it for you, so I don't mind. Yes. Now, do you remember that PSA 10 Kobe Bryant card I showed you earlier? It comes. Well, it doesn't come. I put it in a plastic holder to protect the case. I don't think my bracelet scratched up the case. But this one's mine. It's my personal collection. Let's see how this holder sounds. Are you ready? Okay. I won't be using that one again. But that's okay. I believe I have another. Sound. I saw something today. And people were speculating. Excuse me, I'm trying to get this. Shards of aluminum foil off of my lap. Give me just a minute. Okay. That they have sound weaponry, and that there's speculation that the giant blocks in all of these old as some type of sound or resonance used to levitate these gigantic heavy stones. What do you think about that? Is that fascinating to you? It is to me. Let's check with our scissors again. I was very careful not to cut any of the fuzzy hairs on my microphone. I don't want to give my microphone a haircut. Hey, let's check on the Pinot Noir. What do you know? There's some left. Let's have some. If you have some, let's have a drink together. I propose a toast. Here's to us. Clink, clink. Yeah. If you've been watching this and you've been saying, what the is this? Well, let me put on me spectacles and just share with you a little bit about ASMR. ASMR is an abbreviation, and it stands for autonomous sensory meridian response. Is a tingling sensation that usually begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine. It's in the form of paresthesia. It has been compared with auditory tactile synesthesia, and may overlap with frisson. Consider yourself informed. ASMR has a huge following, and I believe it can be constructive, positive, and therapeutic. I'm clearly no expert. Check out my old episode, and it's only in audio because you won't find it on YouTube because it's before I started doing video podcasts. Are you ready? paper has its uses. You can use it as packing material. That's one use. Yes, it is. So, I want to tap on something. And I have something. Things I was going to tap on. First, I want to know, what do you think about this device? Again, something we take for granted that I think is just a little marvel. It's amazing. This little device will take a small piece of steel and perfectly bend it to keep paper and other things together. It's called a stapler. It's metal. It feels, I feel ridiculously, absurdly powerful for some reason. Because I can go like this. What? Now I have a bunch of staplers in my lap. Or excuse me, staples. I don't have a bunch of staplers. I have a bunch of staples in my lap. Did you count how many that was? Let me know. How many staples do I have in my lap? Hit me up on social media or Mike's Opinion Show at gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Yes, you. 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 I'd love to hear from you. Or without doing full staples. Did you hear that? That has depth. You can hear the tap sound. And then like a metal echo sound. Depth. Enough deep. So, have you seen one of these? Surely you have. You know why I like this one? I'll show you. It has a little, like a button or a trigger on the bottom. And you press it and it does this. Do you see that? I like that. It's very appealing to me. You can put it out. Just we'll go back. I like stuff like that. That to me, that's refreshing. So, one more thing before I go. Did you say, oh, don't go? Let me know. And like I said, check out the first. This is part 2. And I've only done about 1 a year. So, this last one comes from a box. It comes from a box. It's called a box of tissues. 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 You ready? Let's take one. And you say, hey, Mike, tissues don't make noise. And I say, what? Yes, they do. It just depends on what you do with them. Now, this particular tissue supposedly has lotion in it. So it's pretty soft. You say, well, how can you make that make noise? And I say that there are multiple ways you can make it make noise. One is you can do this. You see that? Can you hear that? For those of you not watching on YouTube, if you can hear that, I was sliding the tissue through my hand. Now, my head is a bald head. Let's see how the tissue sounds on my bald head. You know, and just let you know I have a clean head. Do you see that? There's nothing on there. Nothing on there. Ears. When the tissue touched my ears like this, it sounds loud. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know if you can hear that sound if I touch the mic. I could attach my ear. Imagine this tissue in your ear. Not in your ear, but touching your ear. So soft. I like things that are soft. But hard things have their place too. So, thank you for listening and for watching today. I hope you were stimulated in some way. Positively, of course. Because we need positivity in this world today. I hope you have a fantastic spring and summer and you tune in to the Mike's Opinion podcast and let me share it with you. I welcome photographs and messages and whatever else you may want to send me. Again, I ask you to report any way you feel comfortable doing so. If you want me to do more ASMR episodes more frequently, please let me know. I'd be happy to do so. If there's a particular item or material you'd like to see or hear, let me know. As always, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing great. And if you're not, find a pathway to okay. It's possible. It's definitely doable. I'm Mike. This is the Mike's Opinion podcast. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.